Title: Travis Kelce utterly speechless. Hear what Tay said that shocked him. It was a quiet evening in Kansas City, and Travis Kelce was gearing up for a much-needed break. The Kansas City Chiefs had just wrapped up a victorious game, and he was looking forward to relaxing at home. He stretched his long legs on the couch, watching the game replays on his phone when his phone rang. The caller ID read, "Tay." Travis smiled, the excitement of hearing from her still as fresh as the first time they'd talked. Taylor Swift had become a significant part of his life, and although their relationship had sparked widespread media attention, the couple kept their private moments just between them. He answered the phone quickly. "Hey, babe," Travis said, his voice warm and familiar. "Hey, Travis, I need to tell you something." Taylor's voice came through, sounding unusually serious. Travis raised an eyebrow. "What's up?" There was a slight pause on the other end. Then, Taylor's voice dropped to a lower, more mysterious tone. "You know how we've been talking about taking things to the next level, right?" Travis leaned forward, his heart rate picking up. They'd had conversations about the future, but nothing too deep yet. He assumed this was a casual conversation, until she spoke again. "Well, I've been thinking, maybe we should take a leap of faith. I want us to travel the world together, to leave everything behind for a while. Just you, me, and the open road. No distractions, no phones, no paparazzi. Just us, experiencing life in the rawest form. I want to see what it's like without all the pressure of the world watching us." Travis sat there, stunned. His mind raced as he tried to process her words. Taylor, the international pop star, wanted to leave it all behind for a while and be with him, away from the limelight. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. "Wait, what?" he finally managed to say, his voice tinged with disbelief. "Are you serious?" Taylor chuckled softly on the other end. "I'm serious. You know I've always wanted to live life more simply, and I think we've both been caught up in the whirlwind of everything. But imagine, Travis, just us, no cameras, no interviews, just real, raw moments. I want to know the person you are away from everything, away from football and fame. And I want to show you the real me, too." Travis took a deep breath, trying to wrap his mind around what Taylor was suggesting. He knew they had something special, but this idea was a whole new level of intimacy. No media, no fanfare, just raw, unfiltered time together. Wow, Travis stammered, finally finding his voice. "I've never heard you talk like this before. You're really serious about this?" "Absolutely," she replied, her voice steady yet full of passion. "I want us to live in the moment, Travis. No more waiting for tomorrow, no more wondering if we're ready. We'll figure it out as we go. Together." Travis sat there, utterly speechless. What she was offering was something many people only dream about, a genuine connection, free of the pressures of fame. And here was Taylor Swift, a global icon, asking him to be a part of her world in a way that felt so deeply personal. He let out a slow exhale. "Tay, this is huge. I don't know what to say. I mean, this is everything. Just say yes," she teased, a playful edge to her voice. Travis laughed softly, his mind still racing. "Yeah, I think I need to think about it for a second. But, yeah, let's do it. Let's go." There was a pause before Taylor spoke again, this time with a soft laugh. "I knew you'd say yes." "Of course," Travis said, shaking his head in amazement. "How could I not?" As the conversation continued, Travis was still in awe. He realized just how deeply Taylor cared for him, not just as a celebrity or a football player, but as a person. Her willingness to step away from everything for a while, to be vulnerable and real, was a rare gift. And Travis knew that this moment would be one of the most memorable of his life. Travis Kelce utterly speechless. Hear what Tay said that shocked him. It was a crisp autumn evening, the sky painted in soft hues of orange and pink as the Kansas City Chiefs had just wrapped up a practice. Travis Kelce, all muscle and confidence, was walking off the field, his mind buzzing with the usual pregame routine. But today was different. He had a date with Taylor Swift later that night, and his heart couldn't seem to calm down. He had spent the whole day thinking about her laughter, her energy, and the way she made everything feel like magic. Travis had always prided himself on being the strong, confident man on the field, the one who could handle the pressure. But with Taylor, it was different. There was something about her that made him feel vulnerable in a way he couldn't explain. The thought of her sent his pulse racing. Later that evening, as he arrived at her place, Taylor greeted him with that signature smile, the one that always made him weak in the knees. They had dinner together, sharing stories and laughing like old friends. The chemistry between them was undeniable, and Travis felt like he was in a dream. But little did he know, the biggest surprise was still waiting. After dinner, Taylor suggested they take a walk outside, where the cool breeze added to the ambiance. The conversation flowed effortlessly, from funny anecdotes to deeper discussions about their dreams and fears. But then, out of nowhere, Taylor paused, looking at him with those bright, expressive eyes that seemed to hold 1,000 secrets. "Travis," she said, her voice serious yet soft, "you know, you're the first guy who hasn't treated me like some kind of fairy tale princess. I've always been surrounded by people who see me as a character, someone to admire from afar, but with you, you see me, really see me. I'm just Tay to you, and that means everything to me." Travis blinked, completely caught off guard. His heart thudded in his chest. He had heard plenty of compliments before, but this was different. He had never expected her to say something so personal, so vulnerable. You're serious?" he stammered, his usual smooth demeanor nowhere to be found. Taylor laughed softly, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "Absolutely. You make me feel like I'm not just a superstar, I'm a person. And that's something I've been missing for a long time." Travis stood there, utterly speechless. He had no idea how to respond to something so raw, so real. He had always been the one to crack jokes or lighten the mood, but in that moment, words seemed useless. All he could do was look at her, completely in awe of how much she trusted him. He finally managed a smile, his voice barely above a whisper. "Tay, that means more to me than you'll ever know." As they continued their walk, hand in hand, Travis couldn't shake the feeling of awe that had settled over him. He had always believed he had the world at his feet. He was a star in his own right. But standing next to Taylor, he realized that the real magic was not in the fame, the glory, or the touchdowns. It was in the quiet moments, the ones that made your heart race and your mind spin with wonder. For the first time, Travis felt like he was the one living in a fairy tale. And Taylor? She had just given him the key to her heart. As the evening wore on, Travis couldn't stop thinking about her words. He was completely, utterly speechless, just like he had been when she first said them. Title: Travis Kelce utterly speechless. Hear what Tay said that shocked him. It was a breezy evening in Kansas City, and the stadium lights were dimming as Travis Kelce made his way out of the locker room after a grueling game. He had been on top of the world lately, his career in full swing, and his romance with none other than Taylor Swift had been the talk of the town. Everywhere he went, fans were whispering about them, the media cameras snapping at every chance. But as Travis walked toward his car, he felt a sudden rush of anticipation. Tonight was different. Taylor had invited him over to her house for a quiet dinner after his victory, and he couldn't wait to see her again. The thought of spending the night with her had him grinning from ear to ear. He had become used to their playful, easygoing conversations, but there was something about Taylor that always kept him on his toes. She had a way of keeping him guessing. As he stepped inside her living room, he was immediately greeted with her warm smile and the aroma of homemade pasta wafting through the air. They exchanged a quick kiss, and he sat down at the table, ready to dig into the delicious meal she'd prepared. "So, Travis, how's the team looking this season?" Taylor asked, casually filling his glass with wine. "Well, you know," Travis chuckled, "we've got some work to do, but we're looking good. A few more wins, and we'll be set for the playoffs." "That's what I like to hear," Taylor responded, her eyes gleaming. She leaned in closer, her voice lowering just slightly. "But there's something else I've been wanting to talk to you about." Travis tilted his head, intrigued. "What's up, Tay?" She paused for a moment, then her expression softened. "I've been thinking about us," she said, her words carefully chosen. Travis raised an eyebrow. "Us?" he asked, his heart beginning to race slightly. They'd never had a serious conversation about their relationship. At least not one that made him feel this level of intensity. Taylor smiled softly and continued, "You know, I've spent a lot of time in the public eye, and you're starting to become a big part of my world. I love how we connect, but..." She trailed off for a moment, her gaze locking with his. Travis sat back, his mind running a mile a minute. "But, Travis," she said, her voice full of sincerity, "I've been thinking about what happens next. You're not just another guy I'm dating. You're someone I can see myself building something with. And I want you to know that I'm not afraid of it." "Not anymore." The air seemed to thicken as the weight of her words sank in. Travis Kelce, usually so quick with words, was suddenly rendered speechless. He opened his mouth to speak, but no sound came out. Was she serious? Was this the moment he had been waiting for, or was it something deeper than he could understand? Taylor reached across the table, gently touching his hand. Travis, I'm not saying we need to rush or anything, but I just wanted to be honest with you. I'm not afraid of the future anymore. The shock on Travis's face was palpable. Here he was, the confident football star, utterly speechless in the face of Taylor Swift's vulnerability. This wasn't just a casual conversation. It was a turning point. His thoughts swirled as he looked into her eyes, realizing that everything he had hoped for could be happening right now. It wasn't about fame, it wasn't about the media, and it wasn't about the pressure. It was about two people, in the quiet of a cozy dinner, facing the future together. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Travis found his voice. Tay, wow, I didn't expect that, but I feel the same way. I want this too. I'm ready for whatever comes next. Taylor smiled warmly, her relief palpable. I'm glad to hear that, she whispered, leaning in to kiss him once more. In that moment, Travis Kelce realized that some things were too important to put into words. And as the night stretched on, with laughter, wine, and the promise of a future together, he couldn't help but think that this was the beginning of something extraordinary. Something he hadn't even known he was looking for until now. And as the evening ended, with both of them gazing out at the stars, Travis knew one thing for sure. Taylor had just shocked him, in the best possible way.